We are so excited to have a Gen Z correspondent on the floor with us.
Stop.
Okay, but that makes us sound really old. We're not that old.
Well, you were just saying you were in your 40s.
I was saying I can't wait to be in my 40s because we're going to be 40 horny and thriving.
We were trying to come up with
Trademarking that.
40 and fabulous, right?
That's
much better than what we were
Much
workshopping.
better. Much better. Hello and welcome back to the Overheard podcast. I'm Emily from OverheardLA and I just came from the dentist.
And I'm Justina from OverheardLA, and I'm in the best mood because the sun is out, baby.
Yes. And I'm in the best mood because getting a gold star at the dentist at our age is a feeling better than heroin.
Wait, you said our age is like we're 80?
Well,
you're like,
no.
with all the teeth falling out.
Because you're like growing up, you're always told like, you're not flossing good enough, blah, blah, blah. And my hygienist today was like, you're doing a great job. And I literally shed a tear. I was like, that's like more than being validated than my own father. Sad.
That makes me sad. I'm like, I feel like we should explore that.
Because dentists always scold you. And like, I got a gold star. She was like, you're doing great.
I don't think enough people know how to floss correctly.
That's fair. I mean, that's like a big public health crisis.
It's terrifying. And also, did you know that some people, this is so disgusting, we can cut this if we need, but some people can smell if you haven't flossed. Like there are certain people who have like they're like, oh, I know when people don't floss. And I'm like,
fuck that. I don't want smell that good ever.
Anyway, floss, kids.
What I do, everyone floss. This episode is brought to you by Floss. What I do want to talk about is the question box that we did yesterday on our story about like, tell us your fun financial secrets and stuff that you're keeping from people. What I expected was like, oh, my boyfriend doesn't know that I have spent too much on clothes or whatever. What we got instead was crimes. Like,
no, it was, but
big
it was
secrets and crimes.
It was also really interesting to see like the, just like the different, there was like multiple people who were like, I am millions of dollars in debt, like terrifying. And then you have people on this side that are like, I'm a secret millionaire.
So many secret millionaires. So many people who are like, I have a trust and my partner doesn't know, my boyfriend doesn't know, my wife doesn't know that I have a trust. Like, how?
I do not I do know that some people split their finances, obviously, fine. Don't really understand the mechanics, but sure. But how do you like not that. Like, also, are you living like, if I have 20 million extra in the bank, I'm not living the same way I'm living if I'm making like a normal human salary. So how are they behaving?
Yeah, let's read some of them. The thing is, there were, as you said, there were a lot that were debt, and a lot of people were like, I have a secret trust. There was somebody who's like, I live off a trust. People think I'm successful and I'm not. And it was like a businessman. He probably gives motivational speeches. Like, what I do love about this
terrifying
is how comfortable are people sharing like pretty big secrets, because I can see who you are. But it makes me feel really close and bonded to our community because I'm obviously not going to spill your secrets, but it's just so entertaining reading these. Like, I have a few million socked away and nobody knows. Somebody confess that to me. Where is it socked? Where are the socks?
It's in a bank account for sure. But my question is like, what do you mean nobody? Like your parent? Like who?
I have a trust of 20 million. Partner knows, fam and friends do not. How do you have a trust that your family doesn't know about?
That's the one. That was the one that I was like, how does your family, who did the trust come from?
And then some of them are like so funny and ridiculous. Like I still use my ex's CVS coupons. Like some of them are just like,
but that's
so
fine.
Goofy.
That to me is like, I'm like, that's not a financial secret. That's just like.
But the fact that we went from like $20 million hidden bank accounts offshore to like,
I like that you've made it offshore. It was not offshore.
They're obviously offshore. The sketchiest one. Did you see the sketchy one? I opened it late last night. I feel weird. Okay. Somebody submitted, I used to broker kidney sales on the black market in TJ via San Diego. Like,
okay, first of all,
crime.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't
anybody
tell us. And
yeah, I don't like it. Those kind of keep secrets like
do we have to call the police?
I don't know, but I don't like it.
Like, of course I shared that one because I was like, I love a mess. But like,
but that's also not a financial secret. That's a crime. That's like your
crime.
Hidden crime.
Right? And
that's the same person who has the 20 million trust.
Maybe. But now I'm like, is there ever going to be a day that somebody in one of these like confession boxes is just like, I killed someone 5 years ago?
No,
what do I do?
We are not. Who can you confess a crime to? Can you confess a crime to a priest and they don't tell? Is that right or wrong?
I think so.
That's
I'm not
like
Catholic. But
I know I
am.
Wrong. I don't commit crimes.
Oh, so we're like priests.
No, that's what I'm saying is I don't know if we are.
Are you saying I'm a priest?
You're a priestess.
I should be like responding to these like 5 Hail Marys, 10 Hail Marys for that. I should respond to the black market kidney guy. Honestly, I should respond to this guy being like, how much for a kidney?
I would just also like to say our audience is very funny because somebody responded to that message and goes, I have a healthy kidney. Can you put me in touch? And that was very funny. And I do appreciate that. You guys are
hilarious. Also, so many of you were like, can I date the secret millionaires? Myself included, you included.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if I'm not single. I want to date one of the secret millionaires for sugar baby purposes.
But how pissed would you be if you get into a relationship, you guys are just like going about your lives, you're struggling, and then all of a sudden, you know, they get hit by a bus or something. You get their life, like their will.
Was that a lottery winner confessing to us? Like this was
probably, but
a juicy one. This was juicy. What would you do if you won the lottery?
Okay, first of all, you just reminded me that I think that somebody at my mom's job won the lottery once and they kept working. My mom's a teacher.
Well, if you're keeping it a secret, but here's the thing. If you want to keep it a secret and you suddenly quit your job and like drive a Lambo the next day, you're not hiding.
That's where it's right. You get like tricky. I think I would quit any version of a job that I didn't want to do. Same as you. Like I love this, so I would keep doing this. But like, you know, if there's like, if I was working maybe a different job, I would quit it. Paying off all the debts of the family. I feel like there's like the obvious, I'm getting like one fuck you gift. Like you have to get like one thing for yourself that's like fun and like
it's funny because like I don't really care about like a car. I don't know what I would get.
You have to, but you have to like treat yourself.
No, but I just don't care about like nice cars. Like to me,
I feel like you would get an unlimited supply of Sumo Orange.
That's exactly what I would do.
Emily's dropping $300 on the Sumos.
Get a truck filled with Sumo Citrus. Sumo Citrus, if you're listening to this, I would get pallets. They would show up at my house with a truck with pallets.
I know. The problem is they're going to go bad. I had this in my brain.
They last a long time.
They do last a long time.
I'm so obsessed with Sumo Citrus. Sumo Hive, you know who you are.
I like that my fuck you gift is like a Birkin and your fuck you gift is Sumo Oranges.
But see, that's the thing. I don't care about, I feel this a lot about living in LA. Like, I don't care about having like a nice car or like a designer bag. Like those things don't bring me joy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I think only in LA have I noticed how much people like really care. Like people will live in like a studio apartment and spend all their money on a Porsche. And it's like, why? Like I love my little Prius. Like
I just had a different idea for a fuck you gift. The Carrie Bradshaw closet.
Yeah.
I want
or like home.
That's
I would buy a house with
the fuck you gift is the house. It's just like depending on how much I want, I don't know.
Gift would be buying property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the financial gifts, I mean, that was the best segment we've ever done. I want to continue. Can we just like do that on a week? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Please keep confessing your crimes. I will
not your crimes, your financial
you of them. I am a priest.
Father Emily. What
if I show up to the next podcast like wearing the collar?
Please.
Heavenly Father, tell me who you made out with over the weekend.
Gosh.
Yeah, we had so much fun doing that. It was so much fun sharing them. You guys are so much fun, but also sketchy as hell. So loved it every second. Keep it coming.
Am obsessed.
Well, we should get ready for our guest. I'm so excited for our guest because he was at the Grammys a couple days ago.
I am excited.
So he's like fresh off the Grammys. I'm really excited to hear about what the Grammys were like, especially in a like once a year monsoon. So
yeah, they did not get lucky this year.
No, it looked, honestly, I would have been miserable. Ugh. But anyway, excited to talk to him about everything. He's Gen Z, so that's exciting. And he's very cool. And he's the host of What's Poppin', and he has a show on Sirius XM. Welcome to the office, Davis Burleson.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We are so excited to have a Gen Z correspondent on the floor with us.
Stop.
Okay, but that makes us sound really old. We're not that old.
Well, you were just saying you were in your 40s.
I was saying I can't wait to be in my 40s because we're going to be 40 horny and thriving.
We were trying to come up with
trademarking that.
40 and fabulous, right?
That's much better
than what we were workshopping.
Much better.
Thank God you're here.
Yeah, we're so happy you're here, Davis. We have so many questions. First of all, you were at the Grammys. Like, I just feel like we got to get this on the table. You were at the Grammys a couple days ago.
Yes.
In a historic LA monsoon.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
People in LA don't know how to act with the rain. Like they were not okay, but luckily the whole thing was tinted. So honestly, I got there, I arrived at like 11:30, like really early before the carpet started. So the rain hadn't started yet. And it was all tinted. So I didn't even know when it was raining, when it wasn't. And then all of a sudden I see people like wet, like drenched in rain. But yeah, no, the Grammys was so much fun.
Wow.
Like,
was it your first Grammys or have you been before?
It was my third Grammys.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I was like, I posted on Insta. I was like,
deal.
this award show has watched me grow up because I like look different every year. But
Wow.
yeah.
That's so sweet.
That's the other thing is like I feel like, how do we say this? You were very young, like in a complimentary way. You blew up when you were what, like 20?
Like 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, I
So-
was a newborn baby. Thank you.
A fetus. So that's just so impressive. But also, how did you get to like? I know that I've read before about how you were a DoorDash driver and then you just started posting on TikTok. It's like the new American dream in a way of like,
Yeah, the American dream,
Yeah.
literally.
like how did it happen?
I mean, I started posting on TikTok during COVID. I was a senior in high school, and it was honestly the perfect timing for me because I was going to college, and because of that timeline, I didn't have a job. And so because I had nothing to do, I started DoorDash driving and then started making TikToks during that time period of COVID where I kind of had nothing going on, and I was obsessed with it. And I was like, a lot of people make these stories when they go viral on TikTok are like, it just happened. I'm like, for me, no, it did not just happen. I would wake up every morning, write down all my ideas, like,
Wow.
and I would tell myself 5 videos a day and like different categories. And I had like a web of like the different subjects I wanted to touch on and my content. And I was just obsessed with it. And I just was trying and see what would stick. And I remember when I hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, I was like, I made it. Like, this is all I wanted. And my dad told me, I was like, Dad, look, I got 10K. He goes, that's so cool, but when do you start making money? I'm
with your dad.
I don't know. That'll probably never happen. So yeah, it was kind of a wild story.
But it's good.
3 Grammys later, though.
Yeah,
Grammys later. Yes.
And it's good that you talk about the work of it because the thing is, it is work and consistency. Whereas I think a lot of people are just like, I just blew up and I don't know how. And it's like, no, you put the work in.
Right.
I also think that's what people think on the outside too. It's like, oh, they got
exactly.
lucky. And it's like, no, you put in like the work, like you were working a full-time job making videos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, luck definitely has a lot to do with it, but I think the reason why I did like go viral, I guess, was because I was trying so many different things, and it was that one video that took off for me. And then kind of
What was it?
Yeah,
What was the one that took off?
It was a impersonation of Jeffree Star, the YouTuber.
Oh my God.
Dying.
Well,
I have not seen this video. I need to see.
Oh my God, you got to go back.
We're going to go way
way
back to the 10K
I was
days.
doing like a bunch of impressions then and stuff, and I was really like comedy focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you doing like interviews at the Grammys or were you just attending as a guest for funsies?
I was doing interviews. I have a show on Sirius XM, so I was there with them and interviewing all the celebs on the carpet. And
so
I did that
cool.
with them last year as well too. So I kind of like, I knew what I was doing going into it. I kind of had experience from last year, but this year was a little different because we were live. And so we were live on the radio for 3.5
Live interviewing
hours.
celebrities.
Live interviews.
Oh, that's scary.
That's stressful.
It was stressful, but it was so fun. And I just love being live. And I feel like I perform better when I'm live because I have that adrenaline and I don't really think too much about what I'm saying because I know that whatever I say, I get it right and it's done. Like you can't like re-say something or re-record anything because you're live.
There is something really, you can't go back and be like, we can pretend this is live.
We can pretend,
It makes
yeah.
it more fun.
I wish this was live. I've always wanted a radio show.
That is
But
so
I mean,
fun.
I just do want to say though, because I saw your Instagram story, you had a lot of prep going into that. So I think that's the other thing with like when you're going live, but like you're prepared, like you feel so much better than just like winging it.
Absolutely. And like you can prepare. And I'm telling you, nothing will ever go as planned. But it's important to have like all of those things in your mind. Kind of like I had a question prepared for like Billie Eilish that I would use on a completely different celebrity, but it's kind of just good to have all of these ideas and kind of just be a little bit like prepped before you go into something that chaotic. And I feel like that really helped me going into this.
What was your favorite interview? Any good stories?
Favorite interview? But definitely Leve. Do you guys know her? It's spelled Laffy. She's a jazz singer. She won her first Grammy this year. I got to interview her, and she was the best. And then also I got to do Jelly Roll. who was nominated for Best New Artist.
We were just talking about Jelly Roll today. I'm obsessed with Jelly Roll.
I love him. It was so funny too because I interviewed him before a couple months ago on New Year's Eve, and we did like some content stuff together, and the only place we could do it was in a hotel room. And so he gets on the radio, the live radio, and he walks up to he pulls out the microphone. He goes, "Hey, the last time I saw you was in a hotel room." He goes, "That sounds wrong." And I go, "To make it even worse, we were filming a video." So yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. He seems very sweet. Like he seems.
Oh, yes, true gentleman, Southern belle. Like he is just so nice.
Have you met his wife?
Yes.
She seems great too. Like fabulous.
Were there any celebs that you were like really intimidated by and then got to know them in an interview and it was just like, oh, angels? Ooh. I love surprising stories like that.
Oh my gosh, everyone is so nice. I think some people that like surprised me of like their over and beyond nice like kindness was Olivia Rodrigo. Is just so sweet. And also too, we're like similar in age. So for some reason, even though we're like, she is above and beyond, but like, I feel like she's like an old high school friend of mine or something, just because we're kind of
I don't know, 3 Grammys, yeah, like 3 Grammys, Olivia and you're probably
exactly,
kind of on the same path.
But like, she's like I feel like I'm a friend of hers. Yeah. So she's just so nice. And Charlie Puth is great too. Jonas Brothers are awesome. Like so down to earth and like just great guys. So yeah.
So fun. Oh my gosh.
I did feel like on Sunday, I was thinking of for some reason, my heart just went out to all of the, like having been kind of on the back end of that machine. I was thinking of all the like assistants and stylists and everyone just panicking about the storm. Like I was thinking of every assistant that had to like go pick up a dress from here and every hairstylist that had to come in the rain and deal with like so-and-so got wet and so-and-so's house is flooding. And I was just like, oh, bless.
Yeah.
It was chaos after, especially. Oh my gosh, because it was like raining even more. Everyone leaving.
Yeah.
They had luckily like tented up like half of the exit, but then the other half, where if you wanted to get to your Uber or go, there was a direct after party like that was right next door. Luckily enough, but you had to go underneath the rain for about like, I don't know, like 50 feet or something. Yeah. And so it was.
I think that was the video I saw, like Alex Earl.
Yeah, Alex Earl.
Oh, I saw.
That's exactly what everyone had to go through. No matter how famous you were, everyone had to go through that. And I saw.
I love that. That's humbling.
It's humbling
like,
for sure.
You can be Oprah, but also and you've got to run. You've got to go through. And
some people were just going for it too. Yeah. Whereas whenever I saw that I had to get so wet, I kind of contemplated for a little bit and kind of was like, what do I do in this situation? Then I ended up like putting my jacket over my head and I was lucky with that. But I saw Gracie Abrams running in the rain in her heels. I'm like, yes, girl. We're all celebrities. They're just like us.
They really are.
I'm sure people in LA were like preparing for the rainstorm like it was the end of the world.
There were like cans missing on the shelves, like 100%.
My dad called me. He's from Texas. He called me. I heard it's going to be, and my dad doesn't talk like that. He's like, he's like, I heard it's going to be a really bad storm over there. You got to be careful. I'm like, okay, I will.
I love that you just gave your dad an accent.
Yeah.
It's like
so
good. Home to Texas story a little bit.
He's really from Texas.
Yeah. Celebrities, they're just like us, very humbling.
Yes.
Was the after party fun?
The after party was fun. It was, free drinks, performances. I forget who was performing. The Crows were performing.
You had me at
the
free
Black
drinks.
Crows or something. Yeah, free drinks. I mean, and they had In-N-Out. Oh my gosh, In-N-Out burgers and fries, handing them out on a silver platter. Like it was amazing. And they were dressed up. Like the people serving them had the In-N-Out hats and stuff.
Oh,
it was
cute.
Yeah.
I want to know about the actual Grammys.
Yes.
The inside. Tell me, how is that? What was your favorite moment?
Oh my gosh.
What is it like being in the room?
In the room is so cool because the Grammys make it for the audience that's there as well. Whereas it's like a concert, the free concert, whereas some other award shows are very much like made for TV where it's not as enjoyable for the audience actually in the room. But the Grammys is the exact opposite. It was so fun. All the performances, Fantasia singing Tina Turner. That was just insane.
And Miley. So good.
I missed Miley's performance because I was in the bathroom editing a TikTok. I had to get my content up.
If there was ever like a hazard of the job.
I know. The first like couple
comes with the territory.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes of the show I did miss because I was like doing some content like back in the back. But I missed Miley Cyrus, I missed Dua Lipa, I missed Billy, and I missed SZA.
Yeah.
The
Oh my God. Why didn't you just leave?
I didn't. Well, the thing was, is I like whenever you're out, like by like where the concessions are, I guess you can't hear anything that's happening. You can only hear like the music during the commercial break. So I was like, oh, I'm missing nothing. And then I missed Miley win her first Grammy, whatever. But yeah, I bring my AirPods with me. So I was at the Grammys during the commercial breaks with my AirPods sitting in my seat, like trying to get my video up.
I wish they would have gotten a shot of you. Just like
literally being a loser with my AirPods on. But you know,
that's not a loser. It's hard work.
It's hard work. Yeah.
Yeah.
A working man.
Oh my God.
Okay, I have a bone to pick with you. Okay.
Ooh, a bone.
Yeah, I saw you on a different podcast talking about the fact that you hate condiments.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk about that.
As a resident sauce girl, like I eat food primarily for the sauce. Like I don't care about the sauce.
We differ.
I am in disbelief. I'm in shock.
Food is a vessel for sauce.
I need to know what are you're just eating things plain?
Plain Jane. Yeah, I despise all sauces. Ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, relish, hot sauce, sriracha. The list goes on and on.
I'm so stressed about this. When I saw this clip, I was like, I have to bring it up, like not to reiterate another podcast on our podcast, but I can't understand.
You know why I'm totally okay with you bringing it up is because I am so passionate about the no sauce thing. It's not like I'm like, oh, I know, like it's a bad thing that I want to change about myself.
Yeah.
No, I am who I am.
Okay.
I hate sauces.
What about seasoning, like salt, pepper?
Love. My nickname growing up was Salt because I would take chips at like Mexican restaurants where they have like the chips and salsa, no guacamole, and I would take the chip and just lick the salt off the chip and then put it on a
Well, of course you love salt because your food doesn't have any sauce on it.
Wait, that's hilarious.
Literally.
Would you do that with Doritos? I used to do that with Doritos growing up.
Yeah. Or like I think I would actually eat the Dorito, but I would, lick it first, kind of enjoy it and then crunch. Yeah.
If something's going to kill me, it's salt. Fucking love salt.
Yeah.
Like I love salt.
Everything with salt on it.
I love salt.
Hold on.
Have you ever been eating something like, have you ever eaten like raw almonds and been like, oh, I don't like almonds, I like salt?
Oh yeah.
Of
course. I like anything with taste.
Like that's like eating trail mix and being like, wait, the M&Ms are the best part.
Or when you eat unsalted popcorn and you're like, I don't actually like popcorn.
Why would anybody eat unsalted popcorn?
Psychopaths in LA. I don't know.
Okay, popcorn, butter.
Yeah, like
we just want butter.
Okay, honestly, those like the butter at the movie theater, if you're like putting it in, it's not real butter.
No, that's chemicals.
Justina
but
and I
love
go
the
to
chemicals.
The movies, we can't share popcorn because I'm like, I'm not putting this shit on my
That's
popcorn.
where so I'm a very like, don't eat chemicals,
Same.
Except at the movie theater. The rule does not exist at the movie theater. I have like a popcorn, like a ritual. I get the popcorn, I take a straw. In the straw, I put the butter through the straw to get it like into the bottom of the popcorn, then like another layer, then more. I'm a freak.
Excuse me?
I'm a freak.
I've never seen you do this.
Because we're late at the movies. We've been late to the movies.
Put it through a straw?
Yeah.
Rules out the window
at the movie theater because I also eat candy and I don't eat candy like normally, but there I'm like I eat candy.
I feel like I want to unpack that. I want to unpack the sauces.
Yeah, no, the sauces is the bigger.
Like, did you have like a bad experience with ketchup as a kid or something? Like, how did this come to be?
That I don't remember really, but my mom tells me I don't remember this. She said that I loved ketchup growing up. Like, loved it. She would take me to McDonald's, dipping my chicken tenders, my French fries, and the ketchup. And then she said one day, I was like, no, it's not even about the taste, really. It's more about the texture.
We're just
and the way it's presented.
Like
We're literally interrogating.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. Last question.
Sorry, this really set me off when I saw that clip. I was like,
I'm here to explain.
Well, I was like,
just have reasoning.
Justina's got a bone to pick.
You're so cute.
How do you eat pasta? Plain?
I actually had this conversation last night. So pasta sauce does not bother me at all because if you were to put pasta sauce in a clear jar, like a mason jar, it would move around, right? Sometimes you can even see through it. It's like hollow. It's like you can see through the sauce. Whereas if you were to put ketchup in a jar or like mustard or like a thick sauce, it's jiggly. It doesn't
move. So it's the thickness
it's about
for
the
you.
viscosity.
Yes.
The gelatinousness.
Yes. It's like really makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know what's in there. You can't see through it. And also, I don't know when that was made. It could have been made 3 years ago. I don't know why. It just grosses me out.
No, it's true.
No,
like,
that makes
ketchup
sense.
At a restaurant, I'm always like, how long is this?
I know. I'm getting like heated about this. My heart's like beating. But I do love, you know what I love? A vinaigrette.
Oh
yeah.
It's
So
because
salad.
it's
salad.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's clear. A vinaigrette is clear. You can see through it.
It's kind of like that. How people have that fear of like deep water because they can't see. This
Your
is
explanation
so
is, I will say that you have defended yourself extremely well. I feel really good about where we've netted out here.
Not hating on it at all. Like you do you. I just find it very fascinating as somebody like Justina, who I consider food to be like a vessel for sauce.
I've just been defending myself my whole life, so I'm just
No, that makes me so sad.
I know, that makes me sad. It's
that
like,
was the only thing I was like,
up,
I have to know.
We got him all freaked out. We made him start sweating. Like, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm open to have the conversation because, you know.
He's like, I thought I was going to come here and talk about Billie Eilish. And you guys are bullying me about
I don't mind.
You're like, I was here for the mailbag and not to get to go to court.
You, when it comes to doing like the interviews you do, I know you've done backstage at Fashion Week. I know you've done the Grammys. Have you done the Oscars?
I have not done the Oscars.
Yeah. Is there one that's like your next like goal? Because, we have crystals on the table actually.
Oh my God, are we manifesting today?
Yes, we manifest on this podcast with our crystals. We don't know how powerful they are. There's actually a granola bar in the crystal bowl today. So that one's super powerful. So yeah, if you want to like, what's next for you as far as like shows and coverage? Like, what do you want to do next?
Definitely dream. And we are reaching for the stars here. I like to be delusional on these things. So
this is Overheard
hand
LA.
on the crystal. Yeah, this is LA.
Yeah,
this is LA.
Well, this is Overheard LA. I'm like, we are delusional.
Hand on the crystal.
We're
We're
all
gonna go.
delusional.
We're gonna say hosting the Vogue interviews at the Met Gala.
Oh, like what Emma Chamberlain did.
Yeah.
Those are great.
That is something I
like,
really want.
But that's also, I feel like, the perfect like mix for you. Like you are so into fashion. Like great at interviews. I feel like that's perfect.
Baby, that's not delusional. Like Emma Chamberlain, same as you, you know, like came up making content.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel good about this. I think we can manifest this.
Okay, hold
it. We're all touching some crystals.
Justina, she gets mad at me. Which one should he hold?
I don't know. Well,
I consider her the witch.
This is like, I think.
Is the green one money?
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
This is money?
Yeah.
It's a big money opportunity.
Oh my God, I love that.
But I think it's like money, fortune. Like it's like good, you know, like that.
I'm gonna hold the granola bar and be like,
I'm gonna hold the granola.
I hope Davis eats sauce one day. That's what
we should have done like a.
Not gonna happen.
We should have done like a sauce taste.
like a fear factor where we blindfold
No, honestly,
him.
you know what's my biggest fear? It's something I want to do so bad, but like I can't. I won't be able to do it. Is Hot Ones.
I was literally thinking Hot Ones as you were saying.
Oh my God.
And honestly, Hot Ones is like such a big deal that I think I would actually like
you would suck it up.
I would
just
suck it up and do it. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say you're lucky Ellen's off the air because if you were ever on Ellen, you know she'd be making you eat sauce. Like,
oh, I forgot that she used to always do that.
She would have somebody come out with like a tray of sauce so that you were terrified and you'd have to run off.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
You're lucky that we're in our like
topic, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. My experience here at Overheard LA.
He wants to go back to New York. He's like, take me back to Erewhon.
Exactly.
Just like see you fucking later.
Let's not talk about sauce anymore. So manifesting Met Gala.
Yes.
And I'm really excited for that for you.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Hope.
That's great. I feel like that's very achievable. Like that feels very. I say that with absolutely no rhyme or reason to say that. I have nothing to do with the Met Gala.
You don't know Anna?
I mean, we do. We just like WhatsApp every once in a while, but that's it.
Why is she WhatsApping?
Yeah. Why is Anna?
I was thinking, you guys. I was thinking
like she's British. Like they don't have maybe I don't know.
I was thinking that like she's WhatsApping because she's like always talking to people
like
in Europe. Like she's not. She's not on like iMessage, I don't think.
Anna Wintour does use WhatsApp.
Doesn't that feel right?
It feels right.
Okay.
It feels right.
She's like Facebook Messenger. Slack.
Anna Wintour like gives like if she sends you a text, it's in green.
Yeah, she's sitting on that Boomer Express.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, we're not shitting on her.
No, we are not. No, we're not.
We love her.
We love Anna Wintour.
No, it's because she's so worldly. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually so fair.
Kind of want to get into like the Gen Z discourse.
Yeah.
Because so what's really interesting to us, and we're trying to get into this without sounding like you're an alien. Like we're not that different. We're not that different, you and I. Our audience, so Overheard LA, we definitely have a mixed audience, but I think the majority of our audience is like millennial. No, like
we skew millennial for sure.
Millennial. So what's interesting always, of course, like everything that we're getting when people submit stuff to us and they submit a lot, as we were talking about with confessions, situations, talking about dating conundrums, everything. Most of the stuff that we get from you guys is a millennial perspective. So we don't get a lot of a Gen Z perspective.
Cool.
So much of our content is about dating. And I think I like the Gen Z approach to dating because I feel like it's very like no bullshit in a way, whereas millennials are still like afraid of being polite. So yeah, what's your stance on ghosting? I've heard ghosting is a very millennial thing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ghosting for me, I think there's a time and place to ghost. And it depends on every situation. So for me, like if I go on one date with somebody and we both can feel the vibes aren't there, I think that's the right thing to do is ghost, because we probably will ghost each other. There's no reason. I don't know. People give this advice all the time to be like, send some long paragraph to someone they hardly even know saying, I don't see chemistry here. I don't feel this is going to work out. No one wants to hear that. Even from somebody I do not know telling me they don't see chemistry with me. No, I think we can both just read. We're adults. We're smart people. We can read the room. We're not interested. Yeah. Let's move on. But if you're talking with somebody for 5 months or something and you're seeing each other a lot, or maybe even you're just hooking up. That's the thing too, is people think that if they're not going on dates and they're hooking up, then you can ghost. It's like, it's a weird thing and there's different rules for each thing. But I think if you're talking with somebody for a long period of time, whether you're just hooking up or whether you're just you're going on dates and stuff, I think it is important to have a conversation or like just over a text. I think text is always fine because not everything needs to be a phone call. Not everything needs to be a meetup for coffee. I think it's kind of like saying like, hey, I'm not really in the place to do this right now, but I think you're great and it's done.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why I feel so passionate about this is because I've had people that I have really been into and like been like, like dating per se, and like didn't see anything too serious, but like I liked them and enjoyed their company, and they like literally just won't respond to you and like ghost you, and it feels horrible. And then they'll like always come crawling back, and it's like, wait, what? Like, I don't even know. It's very confusing. So I think communication is always key. I mean, everyone always says that, but like truly, I feel like I am always always communicating with the people that I'm seeing. I went on a long tangent there.
No, I love that. I really like that.
Because you're right about the like, if you're in like the stranger stage, I don't really need a paragraph of feedback about like why it's not working.
I actually prefer you didn't send me.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't need your like, do a survey at the end of the phone call kind of energy coming at me for why it's not working. But
I was actually surprised though. Do you guys think ghosting is Gen Z?
I've heard both sides of it. I've heard ghosting is very Gen Z because they like avoid conflict. And then I've heard it's very millennial because like millennials don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
I think millennials avoid conflict.
It's very like situational.
It's situational. I think everyone does ghosting. I think everyone ghosts. It happens.
50-year-olds ghost.
Yeah, 50-year-olds ghost for sure.
Tough.
Actually, maybe they don't. I don't know.
They'll
send a letter.
They
send a telegram across the Oregon Trail. Oh man,
God, I miss the Oregon Trail.
Me too.
That game? Is that
no? You're gonna age yourself.
I don't. Okay, let's move on.
Babe, he was like not even a sperm when the Oregon Trail was being played. I think.
I don't think
Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep moving.
I don't want to talk about what year you were born because it's gonna hurt.
Okay.
2002.
Oh my God.
The 2000s are here's the problem with the 2000s. It's not the fact that you were born in the year 2002. That's not my issue. The issue is that you're an adult. That's my problem.
Yes.
I was always like, of course there's newborn babies.
Yeah, right.
But I'm like,
it's that your birthday
you're like a full adult with a career. That's tough. That's tough for me.
And look, being born in the 90s, it's not that far away. It's just that my birthday starts with 90 something and yours starts after the millennium, which to me 2002 was it was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
that's also the weird.
And you're an adult with you drive.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel the same way with people that were born in like 2007 or something, and they're like driving cars. I'm like, whoa, like it's different.
I just think it was, you know why? Because they acted Y2K going into the year 2000.
They told us the world was going to end.
It was crazy. It was like, I mean, we were children, so it's not like I remember it. Like I remember it in hindsight, but it was like
the panic.
Turn off the computers and like it was really fucking weird.
In 2002?
in 2000, like 99 going into 2000.
And I remember 2010, the world was going to end. Remember that?
Oh,
again?
yes.
There was like a movie about it too.
Oh,
My
or
brother was,
2012.
2012. Yeah.
2012. My brother
it was like
so
the Mayan
into that.
calendar or something.
Yeah.
I remember being afraid of 2012.
Really? I think I missed that one.
I'm not even like that. Like, I don't know anything about the Mayan calendar. It was just that it like got, when it like gets built up and then I was like, I don't know, but maybe. I was freaked. And then we were okay the next day.
Your brother was freaked about 2012?
Yeah, and I think there was a movie, right? And all I remember is some ad with in like Antarctica with a bunch of ice and stuff. I don't even remember, but I think we went to the theaters and saw it. I don't know. I have so many my brother is 6 years older than me, so I have so many memories of like him like thinking things were cool and me wanting to be involved. Like I remember he came home from school and was like, "There's this new song called Soulja Boy." And I'm going to teach all of you the dance. So we all learned the Soulja Boy dance. And like, I remember that so vividly. I thought he was so cool.
That's so sweet.
Seriously though, like, yeah, we definitely just have to get used to hearing that people's birthdays are 2000 something because that's how it's going to be. I still think like our brains are broken because to me, like the 80s was 20 years ago.
Right.
Like that stays in your brain forever. I don't know why.
How are you guys thinking about jobs? The jobs thing is interesting, and like not to corporate Natalie this because
no, but the corporate Natalie thing started a lot of discourse about like you're lucky to have me as an employee and you can't tell me what to do. And and then the millennial mindset of like,
I think that millennial, like from a millennial perspective, we got very like it was very like you're so lucky to have a job, you're so lucky to like be where it was like that was ingrained in our heads for a long time. Gen Z rolls up, and you guys are like. Happy, like it's just like this is my life, like this is like my job is not my life, it doesn't define me, which I love, and I actually really appreciate that because I think that there is like I think the millennials are in the wrong in this situation, and but in fairness to us, like I think it got like I'm like I don't think I grew up with this mindset.
It was instilled in us to like be a martyr, never take vacation, come in when you're sick, like all of these things that make us like, oh, I'm so afraid to take a day off, like. For a vacation, whereas like our Gen Z coworkers are like, I'm taking 2 weeks off to go on vacation, bye. And they don't feel guilty about it. And millennials, we feel guilty about it.
We feel guilty, but I also think there's like a part of resentment there because you're like, well, why the fuck do they get like, and so I think that's where all these problems keep coming up is I'm like, I think we're resentful of Gen Z because they're getting, that's what I'm saying is I actually think you and I are fine.
I respect
but I think a lot of the like discourse between the millennial Gen Z is like, we are just like, as millennials,
bringing it back to the corporate Natalie thing. I feel like she was in it sounds so funny saying she was in hot water over this, but it sounds like TMZ. But like she came off as resentful to Gen Z.
Yeah, I mean, I my perspective on like I think my generation in terms of jobs is that it's a little bit. We unlike millennials, I guess, we have access as we are getting jobs. We have access to so much content on the internet, and we see so many different fields of work. And what a lot of people see is people working for themselves, being entrepreneurs, being an influencer on TikTok. So I think there's a lot of room for comparison, and people are like, well, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want what they have, but I don't know how to get there. And I literally saw a video the other day of a girl who is like huge on TikTok, but she was like, you're telling me I have to get a LinkedIn and have to do this and this and this. Like, I just want to make money on this app. Like, I just think it's like a different culture right now. Not saying that nobody wants to work, but I think it's just people want, I don't really know.
Well, you're exposed to so much
You're
more.
exposed to so much more that it's like almost like I should, whatever I'm doing, like my first job out of college should be exactly what I want to be doing versus I feel like some people, or like maybe like several years ago, people would get a job as a stepping stone. Whereas now people want to jumpstart their career immediately.
Yeah.
I think there's just such an interesting moment where when I also feel like we're talking about this, like when we were growing up in 1904, but like not that long ago, but it was
Oregon
different,
Trail.
right? There was no TikTok, there was no Instagram.
Well, it wasn't even viable to want to be an influencer or something like that. Didn't exist as an
I don't
option.
even mean that. I mean, you just didn't see the options. It's like we were going to college and it's like, okay, you study X, Y, Z, like, you know what I mean? It felt very like you had limited options. And now it is like the world is kind of your oyster. Like you can try a bunch of different things. Like you can do, you know, like, and I think also just the flexibility of like working from home. It's just, I think the world has shifted a lot in the last like 20 years, let's call it.
YouTubers in like 2012 and
Yeah,
stuff, 2013.
that's
That's when they really started to make a lot of
YouTubers
money.
really started because it would be like the kids unpack. I remember being like, wow, I wish I was a 5-year-old child unboxing toys.
Oh my gosh.
In
Ryan's Toy World or
2010
whatever.
or
his name is.
whatever.
Just heard of this.
Making millions.
I have heard this child is crushing life.
What do you think about this? Has been an interesting thing that's been coming up a lot. There was that article that came out about the kids of like family bloggers.
Yeah, I was about to say I feel so bad for that kid Ryan.
Yeah. And like I personally think of these kids all the time as just like, this is going to be worse than child stars in terms of like how messed up these kids are. But as somebody who has kind of grown up on the internet, not from a super young age, thankfully, like what are your thoughts on that? Like
on children being in content.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
kidfluencers, kid family bloggers. Like,
Ooh, I think there is a fine line between showing your child as a way of like connecting your audience with you versus using your child for content purposes and to make money off of them, to monetize them. I've even thought about me like years down the line when I do have kids. I'm like, would I show my child? Would I not? And I think I personally would show a little bit. Like I want my people that follow me to see like my life, but I'm not going to like make videos where I like walk up and like prank my child and post it. You would never catch me dead doing that ever. So I think I don't know. I think the whole thing is very wrong. And I've heard that they're maybe putting in like they should, or I don't know if they are, but putting in laws about like child content creators. And if you're making money off of a child, then you should put that money like they do for a child star, like put that money away so that they can access it when they're 18. And I think in that case, I think it's okay because they need to be compensated for this work that they are doing. Also too, the family vloggers argument of that is, well, they say that they want to be on camera.
But they're like 4.
They're 4 years old. So they might say, yes, mommy, I want to be on camera, but they don't know how many people are seeing what they're doing. And I'm telling you, they're going to grow up and go to these comments and look at what people are saying about them, and they're not going to be happy.
I feel like I think it's going to be bad. Like when these like kids that are on family vlogs and stuff, like I just feel like these kids are going to either do like a complete 180 and like want to completely disappear. It scares me.
I've noticed though a lot of the kind of like influencers who became kind of famous during COVID with their kids, like a lot of them have now started not showing the faces. Like posts, like they've shown them for years and now they've kind of like, oh, I changed my mind, which I like.
Well, there's no
like
guardrails too. It's all new territory. Like we don't have laws. We don't have checks. Like we don't really know what it's like yet to see like one of these like 5-year-old YouTubers grow up and become an adult and go into therapy and like, what's wrong? You know, like
I just remember this one moment that
it's like the modern day, like Kate +8. Like a lot of those kids are like really not doing well.
Yeah.
I think that family had a lot.
Yeah, a lot of other issues, but like just in general, a lot of these kids that were on these reality shows. I mean, it's kind of the same exact thing.
Yeah. It's like child stars times a million because it's not even like you're at work like Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Right.
It's like your life is content. We might see a huge swing of all of these people who grew up kind of sharing everything, being so public facing, being like, I want to live a private life now. But it's going to be a really interesting experiment to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
How did we get here, guys? We've really
talk
about a tangent. I feel like we love a tangent.
Do we want to do some fun speed round before we run out of time?
Yeah.
Because we like to do some games.
Sure.
Do you like games?
Oh, I love games.
I always feel like
you got games on your phone? Yes.
We usually ask people what's overrated or underrated, but now it's just going to be speed round where I'll tell you something and then you tell me whether you think it's overrated or underrated.
Yeah, since you're not from LA. If we asked him what's overrated, underrated in LA, he'd be like, overrated rain, underrated rain.
Yeah. Okay. If I feel strongly, I'll give a reasoning, but if not, we'll just continue.
Okay. Choker necklaces.
Underrated.
Ooh, love.
They're coming back.
They're back.
Hiking.
Underrated. Love.
Crocs.
Overrated. They are so ugly. Unless you're just wearing them in your house, I accept you. That's okay. You can do whatever you want in your house. Never wear them in public. I hate them. Never.
I love that opinion.
I also hate them. Why are they such a thing?
I don't know.
There's so many influencers.
It's like a comfort shoe.
But they're not even comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm big on comfort shoes. I wear Birkenstocks every day.
Love a Birkenstock.
Fucking love
Why would you want
Birkenstocks.
to wear a shoe that quacks? I don't know. Like, that's weird to me. Like, I don't know.
No, but I genuinely, like, I've tried Crocs on. They're not comfortable. I don't understand the appeal.
And neither do I.
Solid answer. Next.
Oat milk.
Overrated. Oat milk is bad for you.
Yes.
I just heard this, and I loved oat milk, and now I'm almond milk king.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm all almond milk all the way also. Well, oat milk has like all these oils and stuff in it. LA.
Ooh, you guys, that's hard. I think LA is, it can't be underrated because it is so rated. You know what I mean? So I think for me personally, I think it is underrated. Actually underrated. I love LA. People in New York like are always like, New York is way better. I think there's good things about both.
They're different.
They're different.
Yeah.
I personally love living in New York though.
Well, the next one is New York.
Brings us to New York. Perfectly rated.
Perfectly rated. Perfectly fine. It's a great city. And I think it teaches you so much about yourself and teaches you about the world and stuff. And it's great for like, I think your early, like I'm in my early 20s. I think it's like a great place to like find myself. I've learned so much living there.
I love New York, and I always think about how like it's so stimulating, and it's such a good place to live when you're young, like your early 20s. Like I don't know if I'd want to like grow old in New York.
Yeah, same.
Because I think I would be like, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you in LA, I was saying in the car right over here, I'm like, I love the pace here, but it makes me really tired. Like I'm tired every time I'm here because it's just so different than the energy that I'm used to.
Yeah. Do you see yourself? Sorry, this is another tangent. Do you see yourself in New York long term? Do you ever think you'd move to LA? Like,
I really don't know where I see myself. I definitely see New York always being like a piece of me for sure. But
in fashion too. It's like the epicenter.
I love, But definitely see myself in LA as well too. I love driving a car. I love the beach. I love nature. I love hiking. So I can see myself here as well. So maybe I'll be like rich enough. Let's manifest with the crystals.
Yeah,
I'll be rich enough to do both. Granola bar. I'll be rich enough to live in both.
For manifesting for LA, we hold a granola bar.
Yes.
Rich enough to be bi-coastal. For me too. I'll take that one.
I love bi-coastal is great.
Or international.
Oh my gosh.
Or someone who goes to London or Paris all the time.
Mocktails.
Oh my gosh. I personally think they are overrated.
Okay.
Because I just don't love, like, I feel like there's, I just personally like something more simple.
Sparkling water.
And I love like a Coke or like a Sprite, something classic and easy. Yeah. Some of these mocktails are doing too much, but I understand them, but I think sometimes they're doing too much. Like the agave and like all of this stuff. It's like, oh my God.
I'm all for like, if you don't want to drink, like power to you, but especially restaurants in LA, and I'm sure New York is the same. It's like $13 mocktails, and it's like, this is juice.
Exactly.
I'm not paying the same price as alcohol for juice.
Right. Ridiculous.
But I think all these restaurants are like, we could charge cocktail prices for juice, and that's becoming a thing. So with you on Overrated.
The beach.
Underrated. I think the beach brings so much joy, but you know what I love even more that is actually underrated? Poolside beach insight. No sand in your like crevices.
I hate sand.
Like
I'm with you
I don't
on
love sand. I like sand on my toes, but like anywhere else, oh gosh, no, I don't like it. So I love being by a pool, looking at the beach. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Nobu.
Overrated. Because if you're paying that much for sushi, I don't want to be rushed. Those workers are working. I don't even know the right comparison, but they are going fast. You order one thing, they're one thing. They're back to back to back to back. It's so fast. And
I'm gotta get those Kardashians through.
I'm done in 45 minutes and I have to pay $400. Like, it's crazy. It's wild. But, and also too, like I wouldn't go there unless you can look at the sun. I mean, it depends on which Nobu location. The Malibu one with the sunset. There's the Mexican one in Cabo has a beautiful on the beach too as well. But like if you're going in the pitch black dark, it's like,
well, because there's one in New York too, right?
Yeah, I've gone in New York.
There's no sunset. Like, what about what's the other place in New York? Carbone. That's always people always say that one's overrated.
Overrated 1000%. Yeah. Talk about working fast. Oh my gosh.
What's like your top restaurant in New York?
Top restaurant in New York. One of my favorites is called Corner Bar, and they have this new room called the Swan Room, and it's just like beautifully oil of like paintings of these swans. I love birds. I'm like obsessed with birds.
Is that true?
Yes.
Where does this
What if he was like, no, it's a lie?
I just know I love that. Well, that would be great. I wish it was. I love people who lie for like
2 truths and a lie. I love birds.
2 truths and a lie. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's great.
Where does that come from for you?
The birds? Yeah. I don't know. It's actually like a probably like a recent thing, like about a year thing. A year-long journey for me of my bird obsession.
Becoming into birds.
I think what really happened is when I moved to New York, I didn't realize how much nature I had from where I'm from in Texas. I'm around animals and birds all the time.
I was gonna say, in New York, you've got like pigeons.
Yeah. And so it's just a different, I miss nature so much when I'm like in New York. And so when I came back to Texas, I was like looking at birds and dogs and like whatever. And I would just get so emotional because I was like, oh, like you never know like what you have until you don't have it anymore.
Totally.
And so then I just got really obsessed with birds, got all over like the side of bird TikTok. And now I have an ostrich in my house named Penelope. It's made out of paper mache.
Oh, I was like, sorry, in your New York apartment?
Just bringing this
in my
up
New York
now?
apartment. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, he has an ostrich.
It's an ostrich head, and I have to tell everyone that comes in that it is paper mache. It's not real because it kind of looks realistic.
Oh, it looks like taxidermy?
It's not. I mean, it looks kind of like taxidermy, but it's a piñata. Like it's cute.
I thought
it's like fur paper. It's like adorable, and I put a little scarf on her too. She's adorable, and people are like, "Wait, is that real?"
Oh, you're gonna have to show us a picture.
Yeah,
I do not. I can find a photo later.
Okay,
yes,
after. I was gonna say you're just like dropping 45 minutes in that you're like Dr. Doolittle, and like you've been
no, really.
In my home.
Yeah. That's like a thing that nobody really knows about me. My whole entire like reels are all animals.
So your whole For You page is like all birds.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
I love that. I love that you're on Bird Talk. That's so cute.
know.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Where in Texas are you from? Like somewhere rural or a big city?
Literally Houston. So, like pretty
like
urban.
Me and Beyonce, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
Yeah. But like everything in Texas is way bigger. So like your drives are just like you're looking at trees and grass a lot more than you are
So
in
it's
New York.
true that everything's bigger in Texas.
1000%. Everything is
Good to know.
huge.
I love Texas.
You heard it here first, guys. Everything is bigger in
Everything
Texas.
is
I don't
bigger
think they've
in
heard it here first. I think that's always been a thing.
Let's see. We can do a couple more. Stanley Cups.
Overrated. Don't they have lead in them? I heard.
Oh yeah.
Also,
that's
too,
the drama.
like Stanley Cups, like sipping out a straw, sipping out of a straw all day. It's not good for you. It's not good for your lips. They make your lips like small. Like it's not good to suck on too much. So that's the only thing why I don't like it. And then also too, I don't understand how people like always take. I live in New York too, so it's a little different. But Stanley Cups on the go. You guys can keep it in your car, I guess, too. But like I would have to hold it like the cup, and I would be nervous about spilling everything the whole time with my Stanley Cup. So no, it's not for me.
Hokas.
Ooh. Overrated. I think they're ugly. But I've heard that they're very comfortable. So if you're working out in them, fine by me. I think working out, you can do whatever you want. Wearing out and about, like if you're wearing Hokas with jeans, I would think about that.
I just love the way you looked around, like before you said that. You were like, "Is it safe to say that Hokas?"
I think I would just reconsider.
Well, because you're like I consider you like a fashion I consider you like a fashion expert. Justina and I we wear clothes, but we are not fashion experts.
I'm not an expert.
No, but
I'm not an expert, but I like fashion. I feel like you keep putting us in boats that we don't belong in.
But I'm saying he goes backstage at Fashion Week and we do not. So I think he's like,
not
and he went to Parson. What is like something that is trendy right now? Maybe like other than Hokas that you just like hate.
Ooh, my gosh, so many things. I'm trying to think of like what I'm not.
What bone do you have to pick in fashion at the moment?
Ooh, honestly, I'm trying to think. This mob wife aesthetic. Have you guys heard of this?
Yes.
It's like huge right now. I personally think it's fun. I don't hate it. I've always been very into. Like I'm a huge. I love when things get trendy because I think it's fun and I like how everyone participates. There's this whole discourse on TikTok where people are like, stop making things trends, or not everything has to be a trend. But my opinion is like, you don't have to participate in every trend, but it's fun to kind of treat fashion kind of like pop culture in the sense that it's like, this is what everyone's doing right now. You don't have to like know about it or do it or participate, but it's just fun, and get involved when you see fit, and don't when you don't. So like cheetah is huge right now, and I love that. And I always love to when like something becomes popular and you like did it a little bit earlier. I love that because I bought these Vans, cheetah Vans, which they're sold out now. I bought them on sale over the summer, and now cheetah is like huge.
Oh wow!
So I'm very happy about
I didn't know
those Vans.
cheetah was so big right now.
Yeah,
cheetah girls,
big.
cheetah sisters.
Yeah, well, you know, like skinny jeans are coming back.
I don't want them to.
I do want that trend not to come back because I feel like skinny jeans affected my organ.
I feel personally victimized. No, I sit down and eating in tight jeans and I'm like, this is affecting my
No, I think we were sucking in for like all of the 2000s. Like I don't think
want
I don't think we can do that.
You guys, like please, you use your influence over Gen Z. Cut that shit off now.
We'll try our best.
Turn it right back around. Turn that train right around.
I'm full on when I go to a restaurant. I will unbutton my pants.
Oh, me too.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want skinny jeans. We don't want low-rise jeans. We don't turn that ship around.
See, but the thing is, you don't have to participate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Exactly.
You do not have to.
There we go. Problem solved.
I'm going to keep dressing like Billie Eilish.
Problem solved. Problem solved.
I feel like you dress like Billie Eilish and I dress like Adam Sandler. Like those are our two, those are our two things.
We do kind of need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Be mindful of your time. Thank you so much for coming. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Davis, you're so delightful. Tell everybody where they can find you, how to follow you, plug your show.
You guys can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Davis Burleson. I also have a show called What's Poppin'. Literally just What's Poppin'. We got the show taken off, so it's called What's Poppin' now on Instagram and TikTok. And then I'm on TikTok Radio on SiriusXM Channel 4.
Channel 4.
Yeah.
On the radio.
On the radio. You can hear all the music on your For You page. We talk about all the trends that are happening, so we can if you're a millennial, we'll keep you up to date. Don't worry.
We'll keep you young.
Yeah.
You hear that, guys? All right.
Well, thank you for being here. We had so much fun with you.
Thank you for having me.
That's our show. You want to give us a toodles?
Toodles.
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 Oh, I loved your toodles.
I love that you did toodles.